Well, the truth is out now. The hype about the Toyota models was at a different level, but the results show a totally different and saddening story. What all's happening in the car world? It'll extremely shock the Toyota fans. So you're watching Tech Addicts, your only spot which gets you all the authentic and reliable information. Without any further delay, let's go places to find out what exactly is happening in the world of automobiles. The fourth quarter of 2022 saw Toyota Motor North America, which includes the Lexus brand, record sales of 536,744 automobiles in the United States. The figure represents a 13% increase in comparison to the same period the previous year. However, the outcome in 2022 is about 14 percentage points lower than it was in 2021. It would appear that this period was one of the most difficult in the Japanese manufacturer's history. The firm reported a drop in sales of xEVs, even though it was already offering 20 different types of electric cars, including HEV, PHEV, BEV, and FCEV to consumers. Well, for these electrified cars we're talking about, for Toyota, the unit sold for the particular model was 110,609, which is down 9% from the previous year. Talking about the Lexus version of the EV, around 15,050 units were sold, which increased the sales by 20%. Plug-in electric car sales increased in Q4, but only by 1.5% year over year to 10,546, which is a pretty weak rate of growth considering how quickly the segment's expanding. The total number of EVs sold was 125,659, which was a 6% decrease from the previous year, and 23.4% of the total volume. The total consists of 9,558 plug-in hybrid vehicles and 988 fully electric vehicles, which was down to 8%. As far as the plug-ins are concerned, around 9,821 Toyota plug-in vehicles were sold, which is a 5% decrease for a 2.1% market share. Another one, the 725 units of Lexus plug-ins were sold, which is an increase from 18 the previous year and a 1.2% market share. As far as total plug-ins, around 10,546, which is an increase of 1.5%, accounting for 2% of the total sales volume. Sales of plug-in electric vehicles in the U.S. by Toyota and Lexus in the fourth quarter of 2022 are reported here. It's possible that a single quarter will have poor results, but in the case of Toyota, the issue's more systemic because the results for the full year were poor. The overall number of automobile sales, the sales of xEVs, the sales of plug-in automobiles, and even the sales of hydrogen automobiles all decreased in 2022 as compared to 2021. The previous year, the corporation saw a decrease in sales of plug-ins of 33% year over year, totaling 35,151 units, and accounting for 1.7% of total volume. The 2022 result shows that a decrease of 9% or 1,849,754 units for Toyota, around 258,704 units sold, which leads to a decrease of 15% over last year. Lexus overall had a 10% decrease from last year. So when talking about electrified vehicles, for the Toyotas, 448,854 is down by 15%. Lexus's EVs were around 55,162, which led the market up to 0.4%. Total EV units are 504,016, a 14% decrease from last year, and in addition, 23.9% of the whole volume. Unfortunately, not only are sales of plug-in electric cars falling, but the rate at which they're falling is speeding up significantly. This is quite disheartening to find out. Around 31,644 Toyota plug-ins were sold, representing a proportion of 1.7% despite a 40% decrease. Whereas talking about Lexus plug-ins, 3,507 units were sold, an increase of 18 from the previous year, accounting for 1.4% market share. The Toyota RAV4 Prime plug-in hybrid was once again the most popular plug-in Toyota model sold during the fourth quarter, despite recording a dramatic reduction of 43% year-over-year in sales. The good news is, Toyota's resolved the safety problems that were connected to wheel hub nuts, and as a result, the bZ4X is back on the market, with roughly 1,000 units sold in the fourth quarter. After 5 consecutive quarters of decline, the Toyota Prius Prime has staged a discernible comeback. Overall, it was a challenging year for Toyota, despite the introduction of the all-electric bZ4X and the ramping up of the production of the Lexus NX 450 Plus plug-in hybrid. During the course of the year, the firm sold 2,094 hydrogen Toyota Mirai, which is a 20% decrease from the previous year. This may be the case for Toyota right now, but no one knows what all is coming for the company. Moving forward, let's discuss Toyota's plan to tackle the situation and get themselves back in the game. Toyota, the largest car maker in the world, is facing accusations that it is not acting quickly enough to cut the number of carbon emissions it produces. Some even argue that it is in opposition to attempts to mitigate climate change. However, the manufacturer has stated that it is optimistic about a fully electric future. It merely confirms that the future will not arrive simultaneously in every one of Toyota's markets. When it comes to environmentally friendly cars, Toyota was previously regarded as a pioneer. In 1997, it debuted the Prius, which became the first mainstream hybrid automobile in the world. A gasoline-powered internal combustion engine was coupled with an electric motor and a battery pack in the Prius. This made it possible for drivers to significantly improve their automobile's fuel economy in comparison to conventional vehicles powered by ICE engines. Because the new technology was such a sales success, Toyota began offering hybrid versions of a significant portion of the remainder of its inventory of vehicles. The car makers sold a total of 20 million hybrid automobiles, trucks, and SUVs all over the world, with 5.4 million of those sales occurring alone in the United States. Meanwhile, though, other automakers began investing in fully electric vehicles, prompted in part by increasingly stringent government regulation and in part by the success of newcomers like Tesla. For a long time, Toyota's leaders argued that there are fundamental engineering challenges to battery-powered electric vehicles. These challenges include the fact that battery-powered EVs have a limited range, require batteries that are heavy and expensive, and take a long time to charge. Analysts in the automotive industry believe that these objections are becoming less relevant as a result of recent advancements in battery technology. More importantly, businesses have seen a compelling justification for investing in electric vehicles. In recent years, Tesla's emerged as the most prominent luxury brand in the United States. One of the goals of Toyota's new $35 billion investment, which was announced in December 2021, is to bring 30 electrified cars to market by the year 2030. That's just less than a quarter of the more than 130 models that it produces at the moment. On the other hand, Toyota announced at the same time that it'll invest the same amount of money in hybrids and hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. According to projections made by Gartner, a market research company, gasoline-powered vehicles will still account for almost half of all sales in the early 2030s. According to Mike Ramsey, a vice president in Gartner's CIO research group, we still expect that in 10 years, 50% of new car sales will be gasoline. If you look at the worldwide footprint, that is almost certainly going to be true. You're not going to see in Nigeria, in Iran, or Indonesia a 50% market share for electric vehicles, period. It's just not going to happen. According to the automaker, the purpose of this investment is to allow Toyota to provide consumers in all nations and areas with numerous powertrains and as many options as are reasonably practical. The leading automaker in the world, Toyota Motor Corporation, recently announced that it intends to make investments of up to $5.6 billion in Japan and the US to produce and supply batteries for battery electric vehicles, for which there is increasing demand. It anticipates beginning the manufacture of batteries between the years 2024 and 2026. It is Toyota's intention to bring its total battery production capacity in Japan and the US up to 40 gigawatt hours. The company intends to bolster its competitiveness by implementing the Toyota production system and constructing production lines that are more effective. To continue its efforts to develop a supply system that can consistently fulfill the growing demand for BEVs in a variety of regions, including the supply of automotive batteries from its partners, Toyota wants to continue its efforts. Toyota maintains the belief that there is more than one approach that may be taken to achieve carbon neutrality. It also thinks that the means of lowering CO2 emissions as much as feasible and as rapidly as possible, while maintaining the livelihoods of its consumers, might differ greatly depending on the country and the location. Moving forward, that's it for this video. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.